What is going on, everyone? This is Ninja Geek here, and we are bringing you finally a revamped game review series. I've always wanted to do one of these, and I finished The Evil Within maybe about a month or two ago, something like that. It was during one of my vacation times or a little bit after that, and I finished it, and I wanted to do a review on the game. But I wanted to do it a different way. I didn't want to just sit down, make a commentary on it, because that's boring. That gets really boring sometimes. It gets really old, and, you know, people just... They want to see more, a little bit more action involved, especially, you know, scenes cut out. You don't want to see, you know, one long commentary just talking about a game review. That gets boring. So, figure I'd do this series, and we are going to jump right in with The Evil Within. So I'm going to put this in my console. We are about to start the game. What in the name of Condry? Who the fuck put that game in there? I think I'm... Bull! Oh, I'm Oh my. Sorry. That game is just so bad. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But we will be back shortly with the review. So, yeah, I got a little mess to clean up here. Sorry because of Advanced Warfare. I'm sorry, guys. Review's gonna have to hold on just a second until I get that adjusted. Yep, coming back soon. So here we go. We are jumping into the game, and one of the first things that you are going to notice within this game is that at the beginning part, it doesn't, you know, really have much of a storyline at all. You don't really know this person's background of what's happening. I mean, you kind of know that he is some sort of detective in his search, but you don't really know, you know, where everything takes kind of place. I mean, we know the setting and stuff, but we don't know really what's going on, and we know that it's some sort of a disease of an infection, it seems like at first, you know, but there's really no storyline until we get later on within the game. Now, at first, this is a survival horror game. I want to make that very clear. This game is a survival horror game. So, you're not going to be, you know, running around just, you know, getting through the game as fast as you can. You have to kind of play, and when you play, it kind of has to, you know, you have to be careful of everything that you do. It's not one of those games where you run around, like, per se, Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc., like a shooter game. It's nothing like that. It's nothing, you know, of the sorts where it's one of those survival horror games where you just have to kill everything. You basically, this game, you need to have survival tactics when you play. You can't just be thinking like I'm doing here in the introduction. You can't be doing that, okay? It's just not going to work out. You're just going to end up getting frustrated like I did, because I had to restart the game almost 20 times, I would say. I mean, I kept going through, I kept dying, and it wasn't the best way to go about things. So another tip that you want to have while playing The Evil Within is scavenging. You want to make sure the items that you get are going to stick with you, and you're going to use them at the appropriate times. You don't want to take your health and use it every time you find one, and so on and so forth. You want to take the items, especially with ammo, because ammo is so scarce within The Evil Within that it's going to be a tough find to find within the whole, you know, occurrence. So you have to kind of play tactical, as I keep saying. Now, in the beginning part here, I just keep dying, and because I wasn't used to this game. And at first, yes, this game, I will flat out say, this game will kick your ass. It will. It will put you in spots. It will put you in spots, as you can see, that are just completely hard, and this is only the beginning of the game I'm showing off right here. There is actually a scene that we are going to get to later on in the video where it's going to be I think it was chapter 7 if I believe so, but we're going to get there. it was a part where these like boxmen came out of just nowhere and they just kept spawning in, and that's what they do, and it was a really hard scene. But there are, you know, the game progressively gets harder as you go along, especially with the end boss. The end boss in here is quite the it's quite the end boss of a lot of the survival games, especially. So you know, within the first amount of time playing this game, you're not really going to have any idea of what's going on. You're just kind of playing and figuring out things as you go along, especially with the types of weaponry that you get. I mean, at the beginning, of course, you only get this little pistol here, but you have to kind of use it to your advantage. And the enemies in this game will take more than a couple of hits. You know, they don't go, you don't shoot them once and they go down. If you even shoot them in the head, sometimes they don't go down. So it depends on, you know, obviously where you shoot them. But a little tactic that I like to use, little thing that actually my friend taught me, and it's very useful, is you could either obviously hit them in the head, and most likely it'll take out most of their damage, but it might not take out all their damage sometimes. But if that's the case, you shoot them in the kneecap, they go down, and just smack them to death, because you don't want to use all your ammo in this game. It's not that type of game where, like I said before, you're not going to be just running around using all of the ammo. So, you know, after this part, let's just skip into the next couple of parts here, because this is the interesting part of the review, where the game gets more of a storyline. We find out more about Ruvik and where he comes into play, and I kind of want to get there fast enough so we can kind of progress with this review of what I think about the game. So I will see you there once we fast forward. So here we are into another part of the Evil Within that I kind of wanted to talk about before we got to the other parts that we were going to talk about, because this part was a bit frustrating when I first played it, and I had to play through it a couple different times, and then eventually I ended up looking up a walkthrough, because you know, you kind of have to do that with some of these games. You don't just, if you can't figure out a part, I look up a walkthrough just to make it a bit easier. And here, as you can see, I'm getting stuck. I don't know where to go, because there's really no indication of what to do. You know, that way is completely blocked. There's no way down. You can't get up. And they locked the door as it went behind. So it's kind of like a total mind teaser, a mind screw up that you really have nowhere to go. I mean, you can't, I'm trying to like break through everything, and here I actually thought that they did this on purpose, so you would have to physically restart the game, and if you didn't save, then you were screwed. But no, that's not the case. As you can see here, I actually looked up a walkthrough, and it's difficult at some points within here that you actually have to shoot those things at the end. So you have to take out your gun, or any kind of projectile probably will work, and you have to actually be shooting at the little gears, and they will indeed drop a lever, the thing as you can see here, onto the floor, and that's how you walk across, and that's how it lifts you up into the next part of the game. But at first I didn't know that, so like I said, this game, if you don't, you know, play like you're looking for everything and scavenge everything, if you're just trying to rush through it, it can confuse you sometimes, and that's what I want to make the point of. This game is very, very frustrating indeed, because it's not something that you're just going to rush through, but it keeps you at the edge of your seat, and if you make it through, it's one of those games where you feel accomplished at the end of everything you're doing. And guys, here we are, Chapter 7. The Boxman. I don't remember the exact name for this guy, but these dudes are very hard to combat. The first couple of times you could see on screen right now, I'm not doing a very good job. I don't know how to actually fight this dude. I think there, yeah, I actually got killed there because I wanted to, you know, get more health, of course, because I completely did it wrong. But here, he is definitely hard if you don't know how to maneuver around the map, because he takes lots of hits to actually kill. You know, I think he takes 2 sniper rounds to kill, and sniper rounds aren't easy to come by in this game at all. Shotgun rounds he takes a lot of, so yeah, there's 2 rounds to kill. These boxmen just put bombs everywhere on the ground, so you're not going to get by if you don't conserve your ammo and your items accordingly. You have to use specific items and run in specific directions. Choose to leave to not kill some of these boxmen because you don't physically have the capability, the amount of ammo. As you can see that I'm going to be doing here, you use the crossbow bolts to your advantage, and then you leave some of the boxmen behind, because if you actually go ahead and try and fight everyone, you're not going to have enough ammo for them all, and that will not work out to your benefits. So you want to make sure that the ammo level is good, that you are proceeding through the level, through this one part, as best you can. Now, for some people, obviously, this could not, it could be the easiest one, but I'm going through it because I know that it was a very difficult part for me until I learned how to conserve my ammo, which routes to take as far as which way to go, because I didn't know at first that you can loop around to the beginning part of that little mission at the beginning. I thought that you can only go back and forth between there, so I got kind of confused, but apparently you can loop around. And so I wanted to touch upon this part because, like I said before, this game is very frustrating, and most of the times, if you do die in this mission, it's either you die because you run out of ammo, you die because a bomb kills you, or you die in the action of killing one of these boxmen and then a bomb kills you. But either way, you would most likely get frustrated playing this part, and I just wanted to make that clear that this part is very difficult, was very difficult for me, and I just, wanted to help anyone to get through it that didn't know how to get through it. Just part of the review, taking in some of the best parts of the gameplay. But now we're going to kind of jump to the end, of conclusions, the end of my review. So we'll be there in just a second. So here we are in the end game. We're going to be looking at the final boss of Evil Within. Now, this boss isn't like one of the hardest bosses that I've ever fought in any kind of game ever before. There probably have definitely been other bosses that have been the absolute hardest, but it is not easy because the rockets, as you're going to be seeing, don't really hit correctly. Sometimes they miss, sometimes they hit. You just have to know when to fire them and when to actually be killing them. Other than that, when we get to this final part here, you're going to be seeing how the story all kind of ties in together, and it is a very mysterious story. Of course, they have DLCs for the Evil Within now that might explain further on what happens within the storyline, but at the ending here, it kind of leaves you clueless. You obviously kill Ruvik at the end, or you so-called kill him. We don't know if he comes back. I personally don't know if he comes back because I did not play or see any gameplay or hear any information about the DLC. But the main Evil Within game, he dies at the end, and that's the big boss who you end up fighting. So, what I have to take away from this game, as you're seeing the ending here on screen in my review of it, like I've said throughout the whole video, Evil Within is a very on-point, frustrating title to play. It's not going to be your average Joe going into a game store like GameStop or buying it online and just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to go play the Evil Within. You have to be in the mindset. You have to know when to play. The achievements for this game, actually, let's go over the achievements because there are some achievements that are hard to get. I think I have like 18% done with the game. But a look at the achievements there are like beat the game on casual, normal, hard. There's obviously the different difficulty achievements, and then there's like the one to beat it on a Kumu mode. There's the one to only upgrade one weapon, or to upgrade one weapon to the fullest. There's one to upgrade 3 weapons to the fullest. There are tons of achievements within the Evil Within that you can go for, and it makes you, it has a high replay value, the Evil Within does, because of the achievements that it has. And if you like to go for achievements or trophies on PlayStation, you will see the relevance of going back and playing the games. With this game, it's different. It's one of those games that keeps you on playing, and if you continue to play it, you can work your way up to the highest achievements. And that's my review. That is Ninja's review of the Evil Within. But once you beat a certain part of this game, you will be so satisfied, especially when you beat the ending of this game. You'll be like, yes, I accomplished something. You know what I mean? It's not like Advanced Warfare where you play a match and you go 2-25 and you're like, yeah, whatever. That's how I play Advanced Warfare anyways, because I really could care less about that game. But we are done with the review now. I'm going to stop talking. If you did enjoy this review series, like and subscribe for more content, especially with more reviews. It takes a little bit to put these reviews together, and that's, you know, why I produce the content anyways, to make you guys happier to watch these videos than just, you know, plain old boring commentary, gameplay review. So that's it. Anyways, I'll see you whenever my next video happens to be. I'm Ninja Geek. I'm out. Peace.